Well, the storm clouds are definitely gathering around this man. As of course, what happens next? As there's a string of controversies surrounding the FBI Director Kash Patel, as some people are having some serious questions about his activities. There are some major allegations about him allegedly being bought off. There's a big conversation surrounding also his girlfriend and what a lot of people allege to be hypocrisy. Now, I have my own individual take on these kind of like ideas and controversies that I'm going to be sharing here. As of course, I think there's a bigger picture to have here, taking a step back from all of it that I think is worth talking about. As Alex Jones has even declared himself, I think it's time for Kash to go. Is it? We're going to be discussing that and a lot more all here on this independent media outlet. And if you appreciate these type of conversations, subscribe, click the notification button. We greatly appreciate all the time that you, of course, spend with us. As this appointment by Donald Trump for Kash Patel definitely, in hindsight, is looking like something's up, right? Something's weird. Either Kash Patel is being stonewalled and being interfered with domestically, or something a little bit more sinister is happening here. As Max Blumenthal just said, this week in the life of FBI Director Kash Patel, 1, got caught taking an agency jet to see his girlfriend, fired the top FBI official in charge of agency jets, blocked public tracking of agency jets he took, disrupted, quote, allegedly a phony terror plot in Michigan, blocked a DNI probe into Charlie Kirk's assassination, quote, and last issued a tweet blasting uninformed internet anarchists for being mean to his girlfriend. As a lot of people are now circulating this clip. And again, first we're going to just tell you what happened, then we're going to tell you our opinion on the matter at the end here, which I think is important to highlight here. But this is Kash Patel in 2023 talking about the former FBI director who, quote, doesn't need jets to go on vacation.
And I'm not saying take all their funding. I'm not the defund everything guy. I'm just saying
I am. Defund everything.
And Chris Wray doesn't need a government-funded G5 jet to go to vacation. Maybe we ground that plane. $15,000 every time it takes off. Just a thought.
Minimum.
That's some of the videos that are being shared around right now, as a lot of people are reporting on what Kyle Seraphin is documenting, talking about how Kash tried to block this information from the, quote, American taxpayer. As The Guardian has the article here, FBI fires top official amid Kash Patel's outrage over reports of agency jet use. Now, the using of a private jet, which costs significant amount of money during a government shutdown where there's serious conversations about air traffic controllers not being around since the government doesn't have enough money. And then you're kind of flying around on private jets in order to allegedly spend time with your girlfriend. Let's just be honest, isn't the best of optics. Is it the biggest controversy that the FBI has been involved in this year? No. I think there's a lot of other ones that are far more significant, as there are reports of Patel getting furious after the revelations came out that he took a private jet from the agency to, quote, visit his girlfriend. As the article reads, a top FBI official with 27 years standing has reportedly been fired by the Bureau after its director, Kash Patel, became enraged by press stories revealing he had used a government jet to travel to see his girlfriend sing the national anthem at a wrestling match. Steve Palmer, who had worked at the Bureau since 1998, was fired as head of the FBI's Critical Incident Response Group, which was responsible for handling major security threats, as well as overseeing the agency's fleet of jets. He was the third head of the unit to be dismissed since Patel became the second Trump administration FBI director. Bloomberg Law, which broke the story, said that 3 unnamed sources had expressed astonishment at the sacking given that Patel's flight schedules were fully public and trackable on websites. A day after her performance, Patel himself had reposted photos showing him together with his girlfriend, country singer Alexis Wilkins, on his X account. According to Bloomberg, Patel had become furious after stories published after the events about the use of the FBI jet to go on a date with his girlfriend. Soon after, Palmer had been told he could resign instantly or be fired. The dismissal was made official on Friday. Now, if the jet is public, firing the guy ahead of the fleet doesn't really do anything, especially when you're kind of posting photos on social media of you doing it. And this is where I kind of would want a little bit more clarification. I think the communication from the FBI hasn't been the best, and it could be a bit better, to be quite honest, on a number of key issues. As Kash Patel decided to respond to a lot of the online critics of him online on Twitter in kind of a baffling post, which I would say is a little bit of a PR nightmare. Like, looking at this personally myself, and I'm like, who's advising you on these statements? And who's advising you to release this? And why are we talking about visiting your girlfriend when we have left-wing terror groups and organizations that are also allegedly being prevented from being investigated internationally because of interagency beef and fighting? As of course, a lot of people are talking about, hey, there's a lot of people trying to bring people together, but there's been a lot of infighting. And there's been a lot of questionable things, especially when it comes to pushing away Elon Musk. That was done by Kash Patel. As Elon Musk said, hey, guys, everyone in your agency is going to just email you, tell you what they're doing. You're going to make sure you know who you got, make sure that no one's wasting time, making sure that there's no money being wasted away. And Kash Patel was like, no, you're not. We're not going to do that at the FBI. And Doge, effectively, wasn't at the FBI, and there wasn't a kind of clearing on the house like a lot of people wanted and expected it to be. Now, Kash did promise a lot. He promised the release of the Epstein list. He promised declassifications. He promised to make the FBI a museum. The FBI got a new building, and there's no museum, and there's no Epstein list, which I think was the main issue here, right? Now, if we didn't have this Epstein debacle, let's just be real with ourselves, the situation would be treated a lot differently. But when we're lied to blandly about the Epstein saga and told, shut up, go home, nothing to see here, it creates a situation where now almost everything you say will automatically be met with mistrust, right? That's just the way the situation is. As Kash Patel went on Twitter and says, quote, I am proud of the work of this FBI. We're taking violent criminals off of the streets in record numbers, crushing the fentanyl crisis, dismantling cartels, saving children, hunting down terrorists, and so much more. Let me be clear. And again, you usually just do these things. You don't have to usually make a statement saying, look what I'm doing, to be quite honest. But he goes on and says, let me be clear. We will not be distracted by baseless rumors or the noise from uninformed internet anarchists and the fake news. Again, speaking in generalizations doesn't help here. If you're addressing a specific person, address that specific person. Who are these internet anarchists? What fake news are you addressing exactly? Quote, as I've always said, criticize me all you want, but going after the people doing great work, my personal life, or those around me is a total disgrace. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that makes sense. The disgustingly baseless attacks against Alexis, his girlfriend. Again, why are you talking about your girlfriend? This is not a good play here, not a good look. She says, quote, a true patriot and the woman I'm proud to call my partner in life are beyond pathetic. I agree. Like, you shouldn't attack his girlfriend, okay? But you shouldn't be addressing those rumors, because now you're going to have everyone attacking your girlfriend. Now you're creating the Streisand effect. Now you're creating a scenario where, hey, please don't do this. Everyone's going to do it now. And I think some of the attacks against his girlfriend are a little ridiculous, are a little baseless, and I don't see any kind of merit personally. Like, I don't see any proof or evidence, any solid things. You could criticize, his work, but again, you coming out and saying she is a rock solid conservative and a country music sensation isn't the best of looks. He says, who has done more for this nation than most will in 10 lifetimes. Why is your public relationship and your adoration of your girlfriend supposed to be something that we're supposed to consume our time with right now? Quote, I am blessed she's in my life. What? Again, we're going to get into some of the more kind of serious allegations by Kyle Seraphin in a little bit. Before we finish off reading this statement and the community note here, and everything that's kind of happening behind the scenes with this internal drama, we just shortly wanted to remind you, sign up to lookandfilter.com, 20 cents a day. We don't work for foreign governments. We don't work for special lobbyists and special interest groups. We work for you. And I'd rather say, hey guys, give me 20 cents a day. Give me $8 a month. If you like my work for over 20 years, if you like everything I've been doing for independent media for 20 years, the fight I've been fighting, support it. And I do really appreciate it. You get to talk to me one-on-one when you do so. We got a Telegram chat that I share a lot of really cool, fun, exciting stuff, behind-the-scenes stuff. 3 masterclasses, 13 years of videos centered around helping you become the best, most strongest, amazing version of yourself. LukeUnfiltered.com. Sign up right now. I want to work for you, not for anybody else. And I am honored to have your support, and I am internally grateful and humbled by it every single day. 20 cents a day. Thank you so much. Now, he goes on. Attacking her isn't just wrong. It's cowardly and jeopardizes our safety. No, I think everyone's safety is on the line. I mean, there's Trump administration officials literally sleeping on military bases right now. Why? Because the situation's so hot. We shouldn't be talking about your girlfriend. We should be talking about the very serious threats, the Epstein clients that are still out there, the terror organizations out there, the left-wing radicalized individuals out there that are a clear threat against our safety, our personal well-being. We should be talking about the type of extremism, industrial complex that's being bred and built up online, creating all these threats against civil society. He says, my love of family will always be cornerstone, and you will never tear that down or keep me from that. I and this FBI will stay laser focused on our mission. It doesn't look like you're focused here. It looks like you're trying to get people to stop criticizing your girlfriend, which is only going to get more people to criticizing your girlfriend. Quote, and continue the reform we promised, rebuilding the Bureau from the ground up. That has been very tumultuous. Quote, and to our supposed allies staying silent, your silence is louder than the clickbait haters. Again, not liking the statement. The community note reads here, people are largely not attacking Kash Patel's significant other, but rather reacting to the firing of people who point out his usage of government funds to travel to her shows. And then the note says, Patel's previous comments on FBI officials using private planes and taxpayer dollars is pretty extensive. Kyle Seraphin talks about how he's saying that she's a sleeper cell. Again, I haven't seen any evidence proving that. And if you're going to make those kind of allegations, I need proof. Otherwise, you're kind of just trolling, to be quite honest with you. And then again, a lot of people are talking about, this previous clip here of Kash Patel demanding to take away the jet of Christopher Wray. And people are saying, well, he's just using his jet here.
Republicans could get Epstein's list out now? Like, how would that process work?
Simple. One subpoena to the FBI. Give me the list. Oh, you don't want to give me the list and you're going to break the law and commit contempt of Congress? We're going to take your money. We're going to take Chris Wray's private jet. Taxpayer-funded G5 rides across the country to his Appalachian State vacation home down to Georgia and all over the rest of the place. That guy doesn't need a G5 government-funded jet. And the second you take that money, you get Epstein's list.
Yikes. As, of course, Kyle Seraphin wrote this. Quote, hopefully no one gets fired for this post, as he says, and he's accusing Kash of blocking access to our taxpayer-funded FBI jet. He says he paid extra to keep track of it. He says last night he flew to Mar-a-Lago, where he allegedly was, quote, yelled at, and then after firing Stephen Palmer, flew directly to, quote, Nashville. Now, is there some hypocrisy here? Sure. Is it the biggest issue? No. As Mike Lee posted a couple days ago that Kash Patel and Don Bongino are, quote, undoubtedly being sabotaged from within the FBI. Now, if that's the case here, right, allowed Elon Musk, Doge, clean house, fire all the wasteful fraud and abuse that's happening within the FBI, and there's a lot of that. But I still have questions why, like, a J6 prosecutor was promoted. FBI whistleblowers that came out and spoke about how the FBI was rigging the game and system with the Hunter Biden laptop, those people need to be promoted. All the FBI whistleblowers that whistleblowed under the Biden administration, all those individuals need to be promoted. That's how you fix the FBI. FBI is still not fixed, in my opinion. As even Alex Jones was talking about, hey, I'm still being investigated here. Hey, why are there are like crazy things happening with me and the FBI? Hodge twins wrote. They shouldn't be leading the FBI then. We need strong leaders that can tell when they're being sabotaged. Yeah. Sabotage, thrown under the bus is one kind of explanation of what a lot of people think is potentially going on here. Now, again, focusing on his girlfriend, I don't care. I don't care who he dates. I don't care who she is. Personally, if you think she's some kind of like sleeper, so give me proof and evidence. I don't see any proof or evidence. Now, him flying around, that's not as big of an issue to me personally. Whatever. Hypocritical, yes. Okay. To me, the bigger issue is, hey, why are you denying, allegedly, investigations with Tulsi Gabbard and DNI from looking into what's happening right now with the assassin of Charlie Kirk, the alleged last assassin of Charlie Kirk?
According to my sources, he was screaming at them. So he was really, what are you scared of? What do you not want looked at? He doesn't just not want her looking at foreign involvement in Kirk. And he also said no accomplices, domestically, which is
right.
a cover-up. Doesn't mean there's something he's covering up, but he's trying to cover something up. He wants it shut down. But he doesn't want them taking the lead on domestic stuff, even though they were set up to fuse all this together and then give it to the FBI. And you have Trump, who ordered Gabbard 2 or 3 days after, said, I want all accomplices, foreign and domestic, looked at. You can pull the article up. So she's also following, very dutifully, by the way, the orders of the president. Wow, how original is that?
Yeah, why is there infighting? As, of course, the standoff between Tulsi Gabbard and Kash Patel now is being reported by multiple people. You want cooperation. You want people to work smoothly together. You want the FBI, that has been a major battering ram of political ideology on the left, to be finally held accountable, and you want to clean house. So far, I would argue we're a little bit far away from that, especially now when we have these like interagency conflicts. As of course, there's a lot of battle lines being created here. There's a lot of internal craziness happening behind the scenes here. A lot of people are vying for power, whether it's Vance, whether it's Rubio, whether it's RFK, whether it's Tulsi. A lot of people are looking at, oh, look, 2020. And I'm like, we have now. You have Congress, you have Senate, you're going to lose the midterms, right? Especially now with the authoritarian establishment neocon right going after the Tucker Carlsons of the world. You're going to lose the midterms. You guys know that, right? Like, it's pretty clear. And then, like, you guys won't be able to achieve anything. What are you guys achieving now? Get the job done. And start to, of course, clean house, clean the swamp. So far, I would say the swamp hasn't been cleaned. There was a little bit of a wake in there, but then that wake was stopped. As again, I don't want to see Gabbard and Kash Patel fighting and then denying investigations. I want more investigations. I want more transparency. I want more accountability. I want more answers. I want more good people, whistleblowers promoted. I want more bad people at the FBI fired. Why was this guy fired? Was this guy fired because he was in charge of the private jets and it just came out, according to jet trackers, that he was flying around? I don't care. Listen, Monday through Friday, I want someone working 7 days a week, whatever. But sometimes you need a break. I get it. You take a private jet, whatever. I don't care. I don't care. I do not care. We have bigger fights ahead of us, especially when it comes to this FBI that has a horrible track record of being honest, open, and transparent and accountable with the American people. Now, if you're being stifled from inside, purge, fire people immediately, clean house immediately. Why isn't it getting done? That's a question that I think I have. What do you think is really going on here? As a lot of people are saying, what the hell's going on here? Do you trust Kash? 1 to 10. How much do you trust Kash? Let me know down in the comment section below. Personally, we could be doing a way better of a job. Girlfriend jet, I don't care. We have bigger fish to fry here. Let's fry those fish, or else everything we've been doing here and pushing here is just a waste. That's my 2 cents on this matter. What do you think? Let's deal with the corruption. Transparency, accountability, now needed more than ever. Firing is needed now more than ever. Promotion of good people needs to happen now more than ever. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys subscribing, watching, and supporting this independent media organization. And this is why I love you guys. Stay tuned for more. All here exclusively on youtube.com/wearechange.